Hello, everybody. Welcome back to GearGossip. Sorry, folks, it's been a while because I'm building a house at the moment and I'm moving. So this is probably the last GearGossip from this studio. Through the last few weeks, months, years, I've been asked, "What's your favorite band?" No, it's not Flash Gordon. It's Queen. Okay. Second question was, where did you get that lousy accent? It's from Germany. What's your amp and what's your speaker? Okay, this got that unnerving, this question, so I'm gonna present my gear, especially the Palmer. The what? Okay, first of all, this is my rig, and this is my camera. Haha. Canon HV20. Vintage stuff here. This is a Mesa Boogie Subway Blues with the usual set of dials that are completely non-relevant for this video here. So no, there is no speaker anymore. This is just a rack mount thing. And here we are. This is the Palmer PDI-03 speaker simulator. Hooray. Ha. Yes, that's all. I don't use any speaker. I'm actually living in a house with a lot of people around. No sugar in the middle of the night. A rundown of the basic features. Okay, this is gonna be quick. Two sets of volume here. A line out volume. So we have two switches here. Bright, deep, flat, mellow. Huh? Okay, one is a bass cut or boost, and the other one is a treble cut or boost. And then we have this the first or last body here that says filter volume. I guess by now it's not that confusing. Okay, two volumes and two switches. Let's turn it around. So what we have here is speaker input and through. Load 8 ohms. A logo. Four line outs. Serial number and filter output. Ground lift, balanced and unbalanced. Did you notice something? La 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 la. Scanning. No power. Passive device. Ooh, good news. Stop this. I'm not gonna noodle around too much on this thing. Maybe not at all for this video because you've heard it before. Yes, almost every video that I have done so far for my channel was done with this amp and this speaker simulator. What is in there? It's a dummy load for your speaker and a filter. And this dummy load and the filter replace everything between your amp and the board. Speaker, quite a lot of speakers, different cabinets, different microphones, different microphone placement, distances and whatever. All that together is boiled down to one device. Please be fair if you're testing a unit like this. Do not compare the sound that is coming out of the speakers of your PA with what you hear from your amp. If you're in your room, you're listening to your amp with your ears in a certain environment, room, space, angles. Basically, in most cases, facing not directly at you, and you're not having your ear close to the speaker. But this is exactly the sound that you're getting out of this. So always compare close miking with any microphone to your speaker with no effects at all, not playing at the same time. Just listen to what you recorded this way and compare it to this device, what comes out of this one. That's a fair comparison. As I've already said, we have a dummy load in here taking about 100 watts of a tube amp at 8 ohms. There's also 4 and 16 versions. If you go in with your speaker out into input, you're just using the dummy load and nothing else. If you want to use a speaker anyway, you can use the through. No dummy load in there. It just taps something for sound. Sound? Yeah, sound is coming out here. Balanced or unbalanced? Well, balanced is quite a lot more output. Pretty welcome, actually. Why? Yeah, it's a passive device. Yeah, there's no amplification in there. So if you have a very low powered amp like I do, Mesa Boogie, 18 watts, the output is fairly low. As you can see, I have it dimed. If you have a 100 watt amp, things are different. It's called filtered output. Filter? Coffee? No. Actually, A guitar speaker is not a hi-fi speaker. It's not full range. It's really, really non-linear. It has some really serious treble roll-off, some peaks and cuts in the frequency range. So really awful actually, but in connection with what your amp puts out, this is what is the marvel of electric guitar sounds. So this is called filtered output. And the line outs have the signal of your amp boiled down to line level. What can you do with this information? The first application is everything where you simply want to replace the microphone. This is first recording and live sound. Recording silent, so no speaker involved, just go to the board, live with it. Live situation, maybe also without a speaker or with your speaker. If you need your speaker as a monitor, you can still use this thing for the sound going to your front of the house mixer with no crossfeed from the Bonzo style drummer or whatever. Just a silent, clean guitar signal, no FX, whatever, plain. Something else you can do with this? Yes, of course. You can use it for scaling your rig. Well, I always play in this setup. So when I'm rehearsing in my room, I use my studio monitors for my sound. So what I'm hearing here is what you will hear from any PA around the world, as long as it's half decent. It doesn't really matter. I can turn it up how far I want to. I have my monitors anyway because I'm a singer also. So I will have a stage monitor. I have no need to make my eardrums bleed with another loud amp. Well, scaling your rig this way only works if you like the sound. If you don't like the sound of the Palmer, you're lost using it this way. But there's another way of using it. Haha. This is where the lineouts come in handy. Oh, my amp also has a lineout. Not necessarily, because again, this is a dummy load. So if you have your power section of your amp really working, slightly compressing, adding some sort of grit to what comes out of the preamp, this is where the thing gets really rounded off. And this sound, right before it gets to the speaker, comes out of line out. And this comes out 4 times. This is for the heavy metal, chuka chuka boys. Let's say you have a really low power amp, 25 watts, loud enough for me anyway, for rehearsal, playing around. And then you're going to open stage, hitting notes and stuff, lost. Just because you're not in a room anymore, you want to have more power. You don't need 25 watts, you need 250 or more watts to get the same sound. Use this one, boil your amp down to line level, and then hook up a simple, solid state power amp, maybe a 4-channel power amp, featuring 2000 watts or 4000 watts, and connect as much guitar speakers as you wish to. Okay, you got this. You have your amp, your sound that you're used to, tiny, easy to carry, good for rehearsal. Use the same sound on stage with guitar speakers. So no PA, guitar speakers, if you want to do it this way, quadrupled times 10, doesn't really matter. And still use your favorite guitar speaker. And this is the greatest point actually for me, because you don't have to like the sound of this one, because it doesn't have a sound this way. If you prefer, for example, a wall of 4 greenback stacks, do it. Because there's no filtering applied. Use your favorite speakers and as much as you wish to. This is not only important for you heavy metal boys that need to take apart a stage with a single note. It's also a very cool thing for guys that want to have a very, very clean sound. Because with 18 watts, you're inaudible on stage. In the room, it's, okay, this is exactly the jazzy, who has clean tones. Dire Straits, for example. You want to play a Dire Straits thing, dunk, 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 dunk. Use your tiny amp that you're using always and hook it up to something like this with a solid state power amp. Hooray. Clean, 500 watts. Dang. To me, it's a perfect solution for recording, but there's quite a lot more possibilities to use this one. Is there something more to say for this? Yes, it has a small brother that is called PDI-09, I guess, which is just stomp box size, but has almost the same circuit in there. It just connects between your amp and speaker with no load or something like this. It's just a tap. So if you want to make sure if you like this kind of sound before you buy the big one, just check this thing out. The sound is almost identical. More to say? Yeah, there's also another cousin for this one that is called completely called different. It's called PGA, or well, simply replacing these switches here, deep or treble and bass, with dials, which is very welcome for studio work, but it's lacking the 4 lineouts. So for studio work, well, actually for me, this shiny blue PGA whatever would have been the better solution. But I got this, so I'm fine. Actually, I don't want to play at all tonight. I just want to wear my nice new Flash Gordon shirt. I hope you liked what I told you. Please check out these things. They are really worth every bit of money. So check Palma, Germany, DE. Yeah, something like this. And yeah, check my last record, available on iTunes, called Miles by Levelin, for electric sounds, because they were all done with this thing here. This amp and this speaker sim. See you.